Namaskar, this is my 24th lecture, and now we have covered feminist theories, and we have covered some aspects of genocide, which included what is genocide, Raphael Lumpkin's definition, John Noraj's definition, and then we have covered the question, the different aspects of genocide, which are agents, perpetrators, victims. The intent is very important, and we have also distinguished genocide from mass killing and hate crimes. These are all different, and we'll come back to them. Now I'll start a very important central focus of this series of lecture, which is why we have to term the Hindu genocide. I will have two applications, and then I will go into the question of jihad, especially in the context of Africa. So we'll talk about all of that, but right now I'm going to do one application, and then I'm going to give in the commentary, I'm going to put the link for our organization's website, and you can go and see some of the cases there. So let's start applying. I'm going to use two definitions. The first one is, as I learned in the John Noraj Institute in Jammu, India. It was given 600 years ago by a Kashmiri Pandit, the author of the third Raj Tarangini, which is a recorded history of the kings of Kashmir, by John Noraj, Pandit John Noraj. And he says, this is what he says, that like a storm, I'm not reading the actual Sanskrit, I'm just reading the translation because we also have to do other stuff. Like a storm that uproots trees and locusts, devastating our rice crop, Yavana, the Muslims devastated the life of Kashmir. And he has a very interesting, John Noraj has a very interesting word for genocide. He calls it Jati Vidwangs, race. And that is very important. Now we are going to go to Raphael Lumpkin, whose definition of genocide formed much of the genocide theories given by the United Nations. What does he say? I'm repeating this. We've gone through this again before. According to Raphael Lumpkin, by genocide, we mean the destruction of a nation or an ethnic group. Generally speaking, genocide does not necessarily mean the immediate destruction of a nation, except when accomplished by mass killings of all members, which is very rare. You can't kill all the members of a nation or an ethnic group. It is extended rather to signify a coordinated plan of different actions aiming at the destruction of the essential foundation of a national group with the aim of annihilating the group themselves. Now, according to the United Nations Article 1, United Nations Convention on Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, Article 1, the contracting parties confirm that genocide, whether committed in times of peace or in time of war, is a crime under international law. According to Article 2, in the present convention, genocide means some of the following acts: killing members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to the members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or part, imposing measures intended to prevent birth within the group, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. So, what will be punishable by law, according to the United Nations Genocide Prevention? Conspiracy to commit genocide, direct and public incitement to commit genocide, attempt to commit genocide, complicity to genocide. Now, I'm going to apply this to Kashmir and then to Bengal. Let's start with the historical note on ethnic cleansing and exodus of Kashmiri Hindus. It has been 700 years of ethnic cleansing and genocide of Kashmiri Hindus. The story of that ethnic cleansing has been remembered via songs, folk tales, and there's a civilizational memory on that. So, geographical importance. It's a land of geographical importance. We know it's between two nations. The Kashmiri Hindus have lived in Kashmir for as long as we can understand recorded history of 5,000 years. They have their festival. Their calendar consists of 7 rishis or enlightened beings of 5,898 years. Panini is an author, Abhinavagupta is another author, Kalidasa, the history Rajtarangi literally means waves of king, and Sanskrit was the lingua franca of Kashmir. So let's see what happens. There have been 7 exodus of Kashmiri Hindus out of Kashmir, which led to the last ethnic cleansing and exodus in 1990. I said before that ethnic cleansing is not the same as genocide, but they have a relationship. So let's see. This is just your history. In 1301 to 20, Said Safar Uddin Abdur Rahman Surawardi, popularly known as Bulbul Shah, a Sufi preacher during the reign of Hindu king Raja Sodev of Lohara dynasty. He was given a place in the temple, and he was the first one to enter. From what we know of the recorded history. 1313, Shah Mir arrived in Kashmir in 1313 along with his family as a refugee during the reign of Suhadev. 1301, 1320, whose service he entered, the service of the king. In subsequent years, rose to prominence and became an important person in the court. 1339, Shah Mir became the first Muslim ruler. See, a preacher entered and then someone became a Muslim ruler. What's important is we are going to compare this exact same thing with the African continent, because that's very important for us to understand the Hindu genocide. Became the first Muslim ruler of Kashmir, inaugurated the Shah Mir dynasty. This was the start of the decline of Hinduism and Shaivism in Kashmir. 1389 to 1413, Shingara Sultan Sikandar Shah Miri or Sikandar Butsikan. What is Butsikan? One who breaks idols. Was a member of the Shamid dynasty and destroyed the entire culture. Now look at this. What did he prohibit? This is from the state, so it fulfills Raphael Lemkin's theory of genocide, that it has to come from, like, the state is the agency. We talked about this when in a previous video when we talked about the state being the most important agency of in most cases of genocide. Although there are non-state actors, let me read again from Vahakan Dadrian. Genocide is the successful attempt by a dominant group vested with formal authority and will preponderance access to the overall resources of power to reduce by coercion or lethal violence the number of the minority groups whose ultimate extermination is held desirable and useful. Also, Dadrian says the state is the apparatus. Genocide is a structural and systematic destruction of innocent people by a state bureaucratic apparatus. The systematic effort over time to liquidate an ethnic or national population, usually a minority, etc. Now, let's see what he did. Sikandar Butsikan in 1389 to 1403. He prohibited idol worship, which is actually not an idol, but that's how they referred to it. No horse riding for kafirs or non-believers, which means you're already othering. We'll go deeper into it. Kafirs cannot move with arms. The Kafirs cannot wear diamond. They took away their language of court, Sanskrit, and substituted it with Persian. Large-scale conversion. Two of the things that's missing in Raphael Lemkin's very profound theory of or definition of genocide. One's conversion, coerced conversion, forced conversion is also genocide because it's jati vidwangs, destruction of the race. And the other thing is the sexual violence on women, which is the linchpin of racial destruction. Delhi destroyed the temples and idols, and they were under threat. 1420 to 1470, Sultan Badshah gave some respite. After his death during the reign of Haidar Shah, genocidal assaults happened that included severing heads, lips, nose, and even impalement. We saw this also in Europe during the Inquisition. 1496, the second exodus happened when Shahshuddin Araki, a Sufi proselytizer came to Kashmir. He broke temples and built khanaqs, lodging for Sufi Muslims. 1600, the third exodus under Governor Iftikhar Khan, the governor of Kashmir appointed by Emperor Aurangzeb, and Kashmiri Hindus were ordered to be killed. As Kashmiri Hindus sought help from Sikh Guru Tej Bahadur Ji Maharaj, who gave supreme sacrifice for the Kashmiri cause. 1675, Tej Bahadur, the Sikh Guru, was arrested on November 11th. 1675 was brought to Delhi. Guru Tej Bahadur endured brutal torture and public humiliation, was given an opportunity to save his life through conversion. He declined, so not everyone would convert. 1819, the third exodus happened when again ethnic cleansing started. 1931, the fifth exodus, Sheikh Ali movement against the rule of Hindu kings, where again Kashmiri Hindus were killed. 1986 exodus, when Pakistani tribes invaded Kashmir and carried out on the murders of Kashmiri Hindus. 1990 was the final exodus. So all of these, they go with the United Nations definition of a genocide. Again, Raphael Lemkin, who talks about the essential destruction of life. And so this all fits. But what I find interesting is Jono Raj, the first person probably to talk about the definition of genocide. He talks about two things that's very close to feminist theory: Jati Bidhwans, the destruction of the race, which is what happened in the Americas. The mestizo race came through sexual violence or rape. I mean, consent is hardly, you can talk about it in colonial terms. And this is where we'll bring in feminist theory also, apart from other things. So that is missing in Raphael Lemkin. And the second thing, very important, is conversion, which we'll see a large scale happening in Noakhali, 1946 in East Bengal. So that's my application started. I'll go further into the Kashmir issue and then we'll do Bengal. So for today, that's all. Please subscribe to the channel, like it, so that we can continue with our lectures. Thank you. Namaskar.